Just want to start by saying thank you so much for taking the time out to sit down and chat with me. I suppose we should start right at the beginning. How did you first discover drag?
Um, I think how every young person discovers it now, RuPaul's Drag Race.
Hmm.
I was during COVID. Well, before COVID, I didn't really know much about drag at
Mm.
all. Like, I probably knew like your Dame Ednas,
Mm.
Lily Savage, that type of thing. Um, but that was just in like seeing pop culture.
Yeah.
Um, then during COVID, I was very drunk with my mother, and we we watched Hurricane Bianca, which is
Right.
on Netflix. And then I saw that and it was funny, and Bianca Del Rio making like funny jokes and things like
Mm.
that. Like, actually, it's quite a funny thing. I mean, it's not an amazing movie, however, I will say it's funny at parts.
Yeah.
So I saw that and I thought, well, this is quite funny. I'll watch RuPaul's Drag Race season 6, which is
Mm.
the one that she was on. And I started watching that and I was like, oh, this is great. It's fun. It's camp.
Yeah.
That's good. And then within the next 12 months, I watched season 1 to season 12 of RuPaul's Drag Race, all of the All Stars up until All Star 5, because that's what it was at the
Yeah.
time. Um, the 1, 2, and 3 of UK.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so I kind of went a bit mad on it. Yeah, and then I lost touch with it. And then you go out in Cardiff and then you see your
Mm.
Ambers, your Marys, your your Kitties, and you're like, oh, this is actually like face to face
Mm.
kind of drag. It's completely different to what you see on TV because the American style of drag being pretty and that's not a read to any of the it's kind of
Very
no
fashion forward.
yeah, very fashion forward where they're wearing like huge outfits and they're all look like Greek goddesses and
Mm.
things like that. Then you go into like the real world and well, especially within Cardiff, and you go actually it's just about
Yeah.
comedy. Like that's the
Yeah.
that's
Mm.
what it should be about, and that's kind of what I've kind of come to know
Yeah.
myself. But yeah, no, so that's kind of how I first discovered drag. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I know your sort of drag journey began taking part yourself in an unusual way. You obviously auditioned to be in Kinky Boots in Barry. So why did you initially join? Why did you sign up for that production?
Well, my friend actually at the time, my friend was doing it, and he said, "Listen, we need singers. We don't have
Hmm.
we don't really have any singers who are vocally able to
Hmm.
do certain parts in the show. Like, and we always need more men, more baritones,
Hmm.
more tenors. So, do you mind coming to do it? I know you do shows before. Now that you live in Cardiff, because I just recently moved to Cardiff at the time, I was like, okay, well, I'll come do that. That'll be fun. So he told me audition for Charlie and they'll put you where they want you. And
Hmm.
this is how any Amdram type of thing. That's how it kind of
Yeah.
works. I was like, fantastic. So I auditioned for Charlie. He was like, oh, you're gonna get Charlie anyway. You're the only person who's appropriate. But then I showed up. I was one of the last people to be auditioned, and I got there, and they went, oh, we've got someone in mind for Charlie. But we'll let you sing the song anyway. So I sang the song, and it was step one, I think, from
Okay.
from and they were like, "Oh right, okay. Would you mind doing one of Lola's songs?" I was like, "I don't actually know any of them because I
Yeah.
didn't know Kingy at all. I had to learn step one. I had to learn step one
Hmm.
for the audition, and they said, "Well, the thing is, we want you to sing a song which is very heartfelt or show an emotion."
Hmm.
Because we don't we want you to be able to portray that because we
Yeah.
haven't seen you act before, and we're not going to give you a lot of acting things. But can you do that? And I was like, well, the only one I can think of at the moment is Suddenly Seymour. From Little Shop of Horrors, the whole thing. I was like, well, they were like, oh, it's got to be from a musical. It's got to be a half.
Hmm.
I was like, well, I'll sing the because I played Seymour in Little Shop of
Oh,
Horrors a
okay.
couple of years before. So I was like, the only one I could think of off the top of my head, Sunny Seymour, because they put me right on the spot. And they were like, fantastic. I know that the pianist was there. He was like, I know that off by heart. Don't worry, cool. So he started playing the thing. did that, sang that with the director at the time, and we harmonized, we did everything, and she was like, "Do you know what? I love you. Yeah, I love you. I need you to be in this with me." Like, so yeah, no, it started to be like that. So yeah, they gave me the part of Lola later that evening. I was in two minds about it.
Mm.
Um, because for a couple of reasons. One, because Laura's well, made the part is made for a person of color,
Yes.
and I was like, I don't think I would be very happy portraying that, because obviously how people portray
Yeah.
things and how people misunderstand things, and I was like, well, I don't really know about that. They were like, this production is going forward whether it's a person of color or not, because there was no people of color
Yeah.
who auditioned any of the parts. Believe it or not, Barry is apparently not as diverse as we would think.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, they were saying if it's not you, it would be somebody else. So I was like, okay. I even searched up, they did it in Switzerland, and they had like a white Lola,
Mm.
and that got backlash. And I was like, oh, what do I do? And then I thought, oh, it's only Amdram. Like,
Mm.
what what's the worst that could happen? Nothing happened. Yeah, I didn't get any backlash, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Um, we changed elements of it. I didn't say you know, Black Jesus, Black Mary. I was like, I am Jesus, I am Mary, and like basic
Yeah.
basic bitch. We changed to basic bottom bitch, and that was my. So I was like, we changed the things, and I think the reason why that part is it's okay to kind of change the ethnicity is because the whole premise of that is not someone's race. Is actually their. It's not even their sexuality. It's their identity.
Yeah.
And people having backlash against that. Having that femininity, because in the script, if you look at it, they
Mm.
don't even say that he's a gay man. They,
Mm.
they don't even say that,
Yeah.
and they don't allude to that either. There's no, oh, Lola's got a love
Yeah.
interest in you. He flirts with them, but he's a drag queen, so we all
Yeah.
flirt with them. The ones that are married are still going around going, "Oh, you're
Mm.
handsome," like to every
Yeah.
Tom, Dick, and Harry, even if they're not, because whoever's got the biggest wallet and will buy you a drink at the bar is definitely okay. No, we've all got to make quotas. Uh, no, so yeah, I felt okay with doing that.
Mm. And then obviously, kind of the big thing of the character is obviously they are known for being a drag performer. So
Yes.
was that kind of daunting for you to go, right, you're having this role and now the heels and now the dress and now the off you go?
I did I did 6 months of dancing in heels before I
Whoa.
danced. I was very lucky. I don't know how the hell I managed to do it, but as soon as I put those heels on, I was able to walk fine, which
Mm.
usually
Wow.
people walk like a man.
Yeah.
And I was walking. We even did. It was quite funny. We even did we were going up and down like almost like a catwalk, just like going right,
Mm.
lads, because it was boys and quite young. It was two 16-year-olds were playing the angels as well as
Ah.
women.
Yeah.
So they were walking in heels, and we're all walking in heels, and we're like, right, you have to think. I'm size 14 feet, so mine had to come from America. So when they
Wow.
said you definitely gonna be Lola, I was like, yeah, yeah, okay. They were like, you can't not be Lola now because we bought the heels. So it's like
Hmm.
fantastic. Um, so I did that, I was walking in the heels, having a thing, and yeah, it was daunting, because that whole thing. But then again, I've done loads of acting beforehand,
Hmm.
so it is just another character. Um, and I try to make my Lola like very camp, very flamboyant as you see. But then the best thing about Lola's part is that you do have that vulnerability where
Yeah.
the mask is in front of people. It's very much like RuPaul, you're all on the rest is drag. Like, it's that mask that you portray to people, and then during, like Not My Father's Son, that
Hmm.
mask comes away, and suddenly there's a man in a uh, like a suit
Yeah.
on stage singing, and you're like, oh, that's the drag queen. And then, like, if you took a snapshot of those 5 minutes, you'd be like, oh, that's not a
Yeah.
flamboyant character. That
Okay.
is just someone who's vulnerable.
Hmm.
So yeah, I kind of think, and we all have drag characters. All drag queens have drag characters, and I think what's really important about drag is that, for me, is that you have that division between
Yeah.
who Heidi is and who Steele is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have caught myself when I've come out with when I've had a few drinks, come out, gone upstairs, got changed, come back downstairs to steal, and I'm still going, oh, you're good looking, and then going, you haven't got the wig, you haven't got the dress, stop it, because that's how you get sexual assault, like
Yeah.
harassment charges against you. Like, obviously I would never go too far, but it's that
Mm,
whole element of you put that wig and you put that dress and you put those eyelashes on and the makeup,
mm,
and you are a completely different person. And it is liberating in an element because you don't really need to watch what you say. Obviously, you need to watch what you say all
mm.
the time or anyway. But there's an element of you've got a free pass, and
Yeah.
that's why I have some friends who are like, oh, I would love to do drag, but I just don't want to do the dressing up thing. It's not really for me. And I'm like, well, the thing is about drag is that outfit, that costume,
Mm.
like call it what it is. It's a costume. If unless you're a person who identifies as trans or have it or identify as a female who was
Yeah.
born as a male, um, if you are like me, like I'm a cis gendered man. Like I am
Yeah.
a man. I see myself as that. Um, when I put that outfit on, I don't think, oh, I am a woman. Like
Yeah.
I joke about being a woman, or like not joke about being a woman, joke about the element of drag that is being female.
Yeah.
But I know a man on the inside, so that is a costume for
Yeah.
me to do my job in the
Mm.
same way that if you went to see Les Mis and they were all in tracksuit bottoms and tops, you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's taking me out of the reality. Really, this is a bit
Totally.
shit.
Mm.
Do you know what
Yeah, totally.
I mean? So for me, like you can be funny, you can be catchy, you can have a fantastic voice, but people lend themselves to have more trust in you as an act if you are dressed up in your
Yeah,
costume. The
totally.
better that costume
Yeah,
is, the more they have the ability to trust you.
totally. Mm.
Yeah.
So was it that performance then as Lola that started your personal drag journey? Is that what kind of
Yeah, so
springboarded you?
I was offered two gigs, like straight, I was offered two gigs. I'll tell you, baseline for me, I like money. Uh, I enjoy performing, but I would really like money. That it's that thing of when I came off stage and people said, "Oh, fantastic! I didn't realize I got a professional drag queen in," and I can guarantee there's some people from the drag scene who did come and see me on there will turn around and go, "You were a drag queen," but people don't know.
Yeah.
People don't know. People are very unaware. They saw the good voice and they saw me going like, a thing,
Mm.
like pretending to be some sort of character, and they went, "Oh, well, we didn't realize they had a drag queen in the actual show." And I was like, "I'm not a drag queen." They were like,
Mm.
"Oh, well, you did a really good job of walking in those heels and dancing and having a blah blah blah." I was like, "Oh, thank you very much." ADHD. I tried to put in my mind things. So yeah, no, I think after that, people offered me two gigs. I didn't end up taking them at the time because I wasn't really sure about it. And then I got offered a gig in Newport, and that was my first one. Horrific.
Oh.
My name was Stiletto. Um,
I quite like that.
yeah, I know. I was like, it's funny because my name's
Yeah.
Steele and like the character's a whore, and Stiletto is the name of a shoe, and people are like, I understand, I understand. So I was like, yeah, but yeah, very excited about a character. Oh God, I remember, I remember I did that gig, and about 10 minutes in, they were the worst part is that most of the crowd, there was like 10 people there, and half of them were my friends
Oh,
who weren't drinking, um who like had completely sober. They'd all driven.
yeah.
I remember halfway through being like, well, not even halfway through, 10 minutes in, being like, I hate it here. I don't want to be here anymore.
Hmm.
I'm never doing this again. Where like I did like my wig was going back, it was quite heavy, like my makeup was dripping off my face, my outfit was appalling. Um uh like some of the songs that I put down because like I got told on the Tuesday that I was having this gig on the Saturday because I was filling in for someone who just
Yeah.
like, and I was like, oh. God, like I've got 5 days to get ready, but
Hmm.
I didn't have like a consolidated outfit, so I was throwing things together. It was
Wow.
very last minute. I'm very glad that I did it though, because and I'm very glad that afterwards a drag king came up to me, and it was Marigold. Marigold came up to me and said, "How was Newport last night?" Because I came on the Sunday to
Hmm.
cabaret on the Sunday in the Golden. They went, how was it last night?" And I went, "Mary, it was shocking. I wanted to die. I wanted the earth to
Hmm.
fall, swallow me whole. And she said, "You know what? I'm glad you said that, because if you'd have said, this is the
Hmm.
nicest thing Mary has ever said to anyone, let alone me." She says, I'm glad you said that. I love her. She's fun. But she said, that's nice. That's good to hear, because any drag queen who goes on stage for the first time and comes off and says, I was amazing, I sounded good, this
Yeah.
was fantastic, all that, like,
Yeah.
sappy queen, they will never be a good drag queen. Because if you think that your first performance is ever going to be a fantastic performance,
Hmm.
then you're very much mistaken. You're going to make terrible mistakes. You're going to have people lie to your face, like, "Oh,
Hmm.
so good. Oh, you were so good. Oh, this is your calling." I had my friends and my friend be like, "Yeah, you were good. You were good." I was like, "Don't
Don't lie
humor
to
me."
me.
I wanted to leave. I was supposed to do an hour show. I did an hour and 45 minutes because the owner of the bar just kept on putting songs on for me. And I don't know whether that was just to get his money's worth out of me, or if it was just to be like, "Oh, he'll get better. He'll relax." Didn't
No.
relax. I didn't relax. Didn't have a nice time.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, and I learned a very good lesson. As funny as you think you are, you're never that funny.
Yeah, totally.
You
You
never, as funny as you might think you are, you will
hmm.
never be that funny when you're
Hmm.
alone on a stage and you try to talk to people and they look at you and go, "Fine."
Hmm.
How are you then? Good. Where are you from? What?
Hmm.
What do you do for a job? Receptionist. Well, it was a bundle of laughs talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah.
People don't get that. You've got to be prepared for a show which no one will speak to you.
Yeah.
Like I have an hour show that if I walk into a room, I could do an hour show on my own,
Yeah.
and there's one person in it, and that's what you've got to be prepared for. And that person's not always gonna laugh, and you gotta they could be
Yeah.
laughing on the inside, they could be going like, you just gotta trust that you've done what you've done
Hmm.
well, and yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. You obviously mentioned that you had a previous name. So where did Heidi Heights come from then? When did that come into being?
Well, that's because I wanted no one to remember Stiletto. No, I did the thing, and I gotta be honest, it's a mouthful. How the hell do you spell it? Like, I don't know. Like Steelet, I was like, do you know Smurfette? I was like
Hmm.
Steel, and then et at the end, and then Ho, and then I was like, well, hang on, it's one of those names where you have to, it has to be said out loud. But then if people read it on things, they're not going to really. I was like, it's just a terrible name. It's a
Hmm.
terrible name. Um, Gigi Spot told me, he said to me, like, he was like, "It's a terrible name, we should just change it." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I changed it, and I thought, right, how do I get my drag name? Like, I was like, right, who is Heidi? And I came up with Heidi before I met this, but Rob Burnett,
Hmm.
he was like, "Who is Heidi?" And this is kind of what comes back to it. I was like, what's the character? So I'm going to be tall, blonde, blue eyes. Try to be like, not sexy, but like try to be nice outfits.
Yeah.
You know, not frumpy stuff. I was like, right, well, I'll be like kind of Scandinavian, like Germanic, and that's the thing. I was like, right, what German names are there? Like, what thing names? I was like, okay, well, you got like Gertrude, like you've got Berta, like,
Hmm.
like, I was like, right, Heidi's a nice name, and I was like, Heidi's with Heidi Klum as well.
Hmm.
Like she dresses up as camp stuff for Halloween. I was like, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
I was like, Heidi. And then I was like, what type of name would work? And I was like, there's that TV program, Heidi High. I was
Hmm.
like, well, there's Heidi High. And I was like, well, I'm very tall. I like a drag name which it does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Marigolds, when you think of marigolds, it's obviously marigolds, and you think of like, an old woman wearing marigolds. That name suits her well
Yeah.
because Mary's character is more of she's older than she
Yeah.
is. Like, do you know what I mean? It's very much like a cunning old woman, like that type of
Mm.
thing. I kind of see Mary as, uh, Miss Kitty. And when you think of Miss Kitty, you kind of think of two things. Well, I've got to be honest. She was obviously very young when she chose her name as Miss Kitty, so you
Yeah.
do think of that like young person, like, oh, Kitty Cat, type of thing. But then as she's progressed, that name has then attached itself to Miss Kitty. Um, all different things. And I was thinking, for me, like Jackie Le Beanstalk, yeah, she's tall.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fantastic name. Like, it's
Mhm.
supposed to be because she's tall. I was like, well, heights will be good for me because it says what it does in the
Yeah.
tin. I'm blonde, Germanic looking. Um, Heidi Heidi Ho is very camp, isn't it?
Mm.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
like
definitely.
anti camp, and yeah, I got that height element. So I was like, this name kind of perfectly describes who I picture my drag character being. And I think if anybody was ever going to pick a drag character, obviously if you're doing it for a one night thing, just pick the most naughtiest name
Yeah,
you can come up
exactly.
with. I just funny enough, I was thinking of being Amazonian
Nice.
because I'd be like an Amazonian warrior, but I was like, Amber Dextrous is the only Amber that needs to be in
Yeah.
Cardiff. I was like, I don't want to compete with her. Not that I could or ever think of doing it. She'd be 6 feet under before I even get
Yeah.
the jump on her. Like, the air would be going out. Honestly, Amber would be in a fucking death, and I will sit next to her and go, "Oh, you don't look too good," and she'll come back with
Yeah.
something with me. uh, she's fantastic. I love Amber to bits. And I was like, there's no way I want to be compared Amber. Oh, I saw Amber earlier. Oh, Amber Dexter. No, Amber Zonian. Who? Like, no,
Yeah.
I was like, stay clear of anyone.
That's out.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm. Ah, so obviously skipping forward then a little while, obviously you were one of the featured performers in the Drag Rugby fundraiser. And having done limited research on you, I know you come from a legacy of rugby players.
yeah.
So what was it like for you to not only take part in the rugby, but also come from the family that you come from?
Oh God, that's a massive question. I like
Hmm.
to talk. Uh, I bet you've never had this many words come out of someone's mouth. Um, um, so, go on, ask me the question again. I can't remember.
So taking part in drag rugby, and obviously you got
Right.
the added layer of the family heritage. So what were those things coming together for you like?
So, obviously, again, Amber asked me to be a part of the drag rugby, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a good laugh,
Hmm.
obviously, blah blah blah. Um, and yeah, I didn't realize that drag queens really did not know the rules of rugby. I mean, I don't really. I mean, my during the drag rugby, my dad came to see it this year. He didn't
Mhm.
come last year because he was busy, but this year he came, and he was with my sister. He said, "I'll be honest with you, that was the best game of rugby I've watched all year."
Mm.
And it was fantastic. He loved Joanna and Dixie coming out streaking
As
with the
streakers,
wings
yeah.
match. He was like, I just loved it all. He was like, it's so funny. And then halftime came. I ran over to him and I was like, you enjoying yourself? He went, I really haven't taught you anything about rugby, have I? I was laughing. We were all laughing. It was good. And he was like, oh no, this is great. This is good. It's a
Hmm.
fun day out for people.
Yeah.
Um, obviously seen the videos that's gone like viral. That is like, I don't know, like, was it 600,000 likes or something, like, oh, six
Um,
hundred thousand views or something, like, and like people in America messaging their friends in Cardiff being like, oh, have you seen this drag queen? I'm like, oh, that's Heidi. You don't I do
hmm.
think. Um, uh, and all different types of people. So like that video now, we've had like some negative comments.
Yeah.
You always get big
Exactly.
anywhere. This isn't supposed to. This is taken a mockery of the game, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, actually, it's raising money for a really good cause. It was children's charity this
Yeah.
year. Raising money for a really good cause. We aren't there thinking that we're the best. It's a comedy. It is
Hmm.
comedy above everything else. You know what? most of the queens who were there that day said, "This is actually quite fun. I've had a really good time. It's fun for us. It's fun for
Yeah.
them. We all come with like little gimmicks. I had the whistle. Nobody realised the whistle was me. Even the ref halfway through was like, "Oh, has got that whistle," and I go, they were stopping. I was going over saying, "Oh, he wants us to have the ball," and they'd be like, "Why?" And I was like, "I just want, I was sprinting down. No one can catch me." Josephina broke her knee, like dislocated it or something. Yeah,
Jolene was carried off.
Jolene was carried off because she broke a nail.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Hmm.
so funny, so funny. Yeah, but yeah, from the point of view of my dad though, and my family, they were just. I never felt pressured to do rugby at all, and that's the thing with my family. We really didn't like have
Yeah.
any sort of. They said to me, "You do what you want to do," and I think when people are at the top of their game in terms. My dad was definitely at the top of his game. When he retired, he went out like on top, and he went out at
Yeah.
the right time. My grandfather was the same. Both my uncles, my great uncle, my dad's side, like there's 7 rugby players in my dad's
Oh.
family, and they've all played for like the Lions or for
Hmm.
Wales. Um, and they all when you are someone who is really good at something, you don't force other people to do it, and that's not because of jealousy. It's not because of I'm the rugby player. It's like no, it's a matter of I know how hard it is to do this, and if you are not going to put your effort in,
Yeah.
I don't want you don't want to do it. Don't do it.
Totally.
My family have always been extremely supportive of everything I've done.
Hmm.
God, I've done enough. Like I got a master's degree in psychology. Like I wanted to be a personal trainer. Like, oh, fantastic! If you need, you could stay here whilst you do that, and then you could once
Hmm.
you blah blah blah. Oh, great! You move into Cardiff. That's really good. We'll help you move in. You want to do massage? Fantastic. You could practice on me. Um, you want to be a psychologist? Great. Let's find a way to do that. I have friends and family. Blah 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 blah. I want to be a drag queen. Fantastic. You were really good in Kinky Boots. Why don't you do that? You'll get really good. I wanted to be a singer. My dad did a tour. We did a tour together. I was singing on it.
Hmm.
He was telling stories about his life and his experiences. That went down really well. Like my dad and my mum and all my family, the only thing they want for me is for me to be happy.
Yeah. Totally.
Honestly, I kind of want to push the boundaries a bit and see what
See how far I can go.
see how far I can go. I'm robbing this bank because I would like to be. I would like to be rich.
Hmm.
Well, I think you should do that one. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Obviously, talking about your dad coming to the drag rugby, he also was in attendance for Mother Mary and Holy Angels at
Yes,
the
it
Angel
was.
Hotel. So, what was it like being a part of that for you, taking part and performing?
Loved it. Honestly, probably one of my favorite things I've done in
Hmm.
drag. It should there should be other moments of my like I've only been doing drag a year and 2 months,
Oh.
3 months. So like I haven't had massive things. Like I performed to 600 people in drag. I performed to 10.
Hmm.
Like I've been on stage where like there's been like a load of people around me and they're laughing, or sometimes that's fun. Um, and you get them singing, and I love to I love to sing. I love people singing back at me, that
Yeah.
type of thing. I think there was that joke with all the photos of me from Thing where I was pointing the mic out at everybody, and it was and then and then it looked like I hadn't sung one word. Uh, that's what you get when you get pissed at a gig. No, but I will be honest, that gig for me was fantastic. I think the thing that I loved about it is that all the queens who were there, they were just fun, and it was
Yeah.
fun to be with them because drag can be quite lonely.
Hmm.
You know, you go to these gigs like in North Wales, and you're on your own. You travel for 4 hours in the car. You're like, okay, I've got a face full of makeup on. I'm driving through the Riddle, like,
Yeah.
yes, people stop, they look at you and go,
Hmm.
makeup on that man, or that lesbian doesn't have enough makeup. No, um, she
Hmm.
needs to do. Yeah. You get to your gig, you put on your smile and you go, hi, I'm Steele or Heidi. Like, call me whatever. Like, what time do you want me on? I'll be ready in 20 minutes if you need me to. And then you go on stage, you do your gig, you come off. People go, oh, you're fab. Or people go, oh, I really like this song. Blah, blah, blah. My son wants to be a drag queen. All that stuff. And they have a
Yeah,
conversation with you. Then you get changed. You get in your car and you drive 4 hours home. And you've not
yeah,
had a conversation with someone. So I think, what drag. The Angels and Mother Mary, that for me was fun because I was stood there with Kitty
yeah,
laughing. I was stood there with my liege having a good laugh. Joanna and Dixie were up there. It was really kind of
yeah,
like, oh, I've got colleagues.
yeah,
Like they don't see me as that probably, but
yeah.
but no, it's
Mm,
it's just been like, oh, I've actually got people who I can do like a show with,
yeah.
and
Exactly.
we did that thing with Bev and Polly and I. We all sung together. That was fun. It was fun to bounce off them. And yeah, I'm gonna be. Who's gonna start first? I'll start first. Oh, holy! Oh,
Yeah,
Christ!
yeah.
Very feminine. It's very feminine of you, Heidi.
It was
That's the
brilliant.
thing. That's the thing. And as I say, I really enjoyed it. And I took a bit of a gamble with one of the songs because they said, oh, Heidi, no one has ever done a Spaceman Came Traveling, which is the song that I sung first. And
Mm.
they said, and I was laughing. I was like, oh well, I love that song. And I was like, and then I said that they plugged it in. They said you can't change your song, and I was like, I made a mistake. I was like, no. Like I saw everybody else's song and I was like, oh, I hate myself for doing this. I was like, I need to trust myself because that song, gotta be honest, I did not expect the amount of pushback. I mean, first of all, when the first four acts came on stage and they started singing, they got their whole like, please welcome to the stage.
Yeah.
And like they had the whole thing, and then my intro was Bev going Heidi Heights, and I was like, I walked on stage, people clapped. I waited for them to go silent, and I went, I wasn't really that invested to be here, so I didn't create a soundtrack to come on to, but I'm gonna sing a song. Let's just.
Good.
I was just like that, and I think that's you got to be dynamic because at the end of the day, I didn't know what those
Yeah.
bitches were going to do. When I came on stage, I was like, right, well, I'm completely underprepared. I said to Kitty, I said, Kitty, there's always got to be one bad person at a gig, and tonight you're looking at it. Like, but no, when I started singing that, and I was like, and it went la 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 la, and like they shouted it back at me. Like you could see, there's a
Yeah.
video of me. I
A
kind of go
raw.
like back
Yeah.
like that, and the roar of like la la la's that came back at me. I was actually shocked. I was like, oh, fantastic. I was like, honestly, I wanted to turn up to the balcony and go, thank you.
So we are coming to the end of my questions, so we got to just quickly fire through the last couple. Where can people stay up to date with you and everything you're doing?
Instagram's the best place. I mostly just post on Instagram. I do have a Heidi Facebook page, but it's if people don't tag me in it, nothing gets put on it because I can't how to put how it goes from Instagram to things without it showing on my normal Facebook page. So I'm very not tech savvy, as you can see from my gigs and my back playlist. Yeah, so if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Heidi_Heights.
Fabulous. And my final question is, what advice do you have for new performers or young performers looking to do what you do?
Christ. Be funny. Uh, be funny. I think I'll be honest with you. If you want to go on the cabaret scene, obviously I'm very, very new to this, so like
Mhm.
I will probably change my advice in a year's time.
Yeah, totally.
But from my experience now, if you want to be good, do a competition, get people to see you, get the most influential people
Mhm.
to see you. For example, in Cardiff, probably Amber. Amber,
Yeah,
if Amber likes you, you're golden. She is one of the most supportive people because she doesn't care, she's not threatened by anyone, so she will give
yeah,
whatever she wants. Like that's
yeah,
it. She
totally.
will, that's what happened to me. So and that's why I kind of got into the golden. I got into and not got into different things. Amber told me have a message with Rob. Have a message with Rob. Don't be afraid to message people.
Yeah.
Don't have an ego. Well, don't have a very high ego. Don't have a high opinion of yourself because, quite frankly, all it takes is one bad gig for that to be
Yeah,
smacked
totally.
in your hand. You've got to be very humble as an act. You've got to take the advice. Be careful who you take advice from.
Hmm.
Obviously, I think sometimes your friends will obviously big you up to make you feel better. That's not necessarily helpful when you're
Yeah.
trying to increase your act. But also, if people are criticizing you all the time, just remember no one is perfect.
Yeah.
If you really really had to this is very like black and white and then going yeah make sure it's white but then sometimes it's got to be black.
Yeah.
It's very wishy-washy advice. I think if I had to sum it up slightly I just say um drag should not be as serious
Hmm.
as people make it out to be. Have fun,
Hmm.
have a joke, look at the other queens on the scene, and you will soon find out the people who are most comfortable with themselves and the people who are most comfortable with just having a laugh. At the end of the day, if you identify as a man and you're a drag queen, you're a man in a dress.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
funny. Don't be like I am. Like you're a man in dress. You
Yeah.
got a wig on. You put troweled makeup on. That's how you should be. It
Mm.
should be fun. It should be funny, and work hard and just make sure that you are respectful of
Mm.
people. Definitely.
Fabulous. So I said at the beginning, and I'll end the same way. Thank you so much for taking the time out to sit down and chat with me. It's been so much fun. I will put all the links in the comments below so people can scroll down and click away. But I wish you the best of luck, and I shall speak to you soon.
Fantastic. Thank you, lovely.